Oh my God.
Wow.
Where the hell are we, Tim?
Oh, I think we're back on Loose Lips.
Oh, God. It's been a minute.
Right. I don't even know what state we're in. We've been in so many states.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Loose Lips.
Hi, yay!
I'm Ike Avelli.
And I'm Tym Moss.
Oh, Tim. I feel like I'm seeing so much of you.
I know. We're like practically sick of each other.
We're sisters.
Oh, my God. We have been all over. We were in Asheville, North Carolina.
Yes.
And somewhere else. Oh, and then I had to go to Florida for about a month. And then we were just in Chicago.
Yes.
How cool was Chicago?
Oh, my God. First of all, well, the story behind it.
Oh, God.
And getting there. We'll save that for the book.
Okay.
But Chicago was amazing. My first Pride in Chicago. I don't know if that was yours.
Yes, that was my first time for Chicago Pride.
And you got on WGN.
Yes, on the television show. Yeah, I was. We were at the parade, and there was some reporters there, and so I just went over and talked to them.
Yeah, and we had a blast. We had Nancy, Steve, Hannah, Fran.
Yeah.
Jill came up, and
Vicky Quaid, who's a cabaret performer in Chicago. She came to the show.
It was fabulous. It really was.
It was an amazing trip, just nonstop.
Yeah.
The audiences were great. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. The last night was just epic.
It was,
it was.
And
we got to see our sponsor, Uberlube.
Uberlube was there because they're based in Chicago.
So a shout out to all the ladies who came out and supporting us, and to Uberlube and John and the whole Uberlube team.
Yep.
Thank you for supporting 50 Shades of Gay. Tim and I are grateful.
Yep. We love you so much.
Yes. So yes, Uberlube. Sponsoring Loose Lips as well. Get their products on uberlube.com. And if you come to one of our shows, we got giveaways.
We'll even give you some Uberlube. We will lube you up.
And speaking of more shows, we have Lube, a Gaysicle, coming to Providence July 21st and 23rd.
Yeah. Yeah. And we also, and then the following weekend we'll be in Boise, Idaho.
Yes.
At the, what is it? There's something at the end of
the lounge at the end of the universe.
The lounge at the end of the universe. So be sure to come see us. Everybody out in Boise, come and see us.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun time. 3 nights there.
Yeah, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
29th and 30th. 8 o'clock shows, 7 p.m. the doors open. So we're going to have a blast in Boise.
Exactly. And I've never been there. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I've never been either. And I have a feeling we're going to be making some stops before we get there, if you know what I mean.
Yes, just maybe. See what else we can find out in the desert or somewhere along the way.
So Tim and I, we like to answer your questions. If you have advice, Tim and I like to help. So if you have any, questions or advice you want some answers to, hit up Dr. Tim, Dr. Ike. Yeah. Get us up at ikeavellievents at hotmail.com, or just send us a message on Facebook.
Yes. We're not really doctors, but we like to play doctor.
Listen, I got 100 rubber gloves I got to use at some point.
Nah.
Oh my God. So Tim, are we just going to introduce our guest or what?
Oh God, I love our guest today so much.
We have been waiting for this for a while. And so our guest tonight is a Grammy nominated songwriter whose latest album, Nightmare, which was released on June 4th, is blowing up all over the world.
Yeah.
The album takes you through many stages one would go through in a breakup.
Yes. But the thing I love about him is his songs are so catchy. They're like catchy anthems.
Yes.
And including his well-known hit Body Positive, which has been the dance floor craze since it was released. And it puts such a great message out there to love your body no matter what shape, what size, what color, what gender. Yes. I love that. And you can catch him in magazines, radio shows internationally. And tonight he is right here with us on Loose Lips. Please welcome the one and only J.R. Price.
Oh, gosh. You all woke me up from a nap because I'm just so busy.
Have you been traveling with us too?
I have been traveling all over, like on my press tour on my phone.
Oh, JR,
oh my God, thank you all so much for having me. This is exciting.
Oh, I'm so grateful that you're here.
You all are on like such the tour. You all are going to so many places. I'm so proud of you all.
Well, we're trying. We're trying. Yeah. But I seen you. My first impression of you was at Tim's birthday bash.
Tim's my birthday. His 60th birthday.
That was so fun.
So what power?
It was the best. It was the best. Thank you for having me.
It was so much talent on one stage.
It was an incredible night. Everybody was magic. It was a magic night.
Yeah,
it was. Mm-hmm. So tell us, JR, New York City, born and raised, or
no? Oh my God, no! I'm from the South. I was born in West Virginia, and then I moved a lot. The longest place I ever lived was in Kentucky. My dad's family is from West Virginia. My mom's family is from Kentucky, and so I was like kind of growing up in that area. But we moved a lot in between, and and it was like, the South. So I had to leave, and I, went to college and studied musical theater, and then moved to New York.
Where did you go to college?
The University of Kentucky. I had to be in state for money reasons. We're poor, So.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, we've been there too. Yeah, but Kentucky, that had to be a challenge.
It was a big challenge. Yeah, West Virginia and Kentucky, and all the other places I lived were in the South too. So it was all, my family's Republican, and I'm clearly not, and it was really hard. But I finally, got out. I had to get an education. I'm not the smartest cookie in the crayon box, except for when I learn something, I know it. And so, I had to get that education, and school's important, kids. So study up, and it gave me the strength to move here, and every day's still a struggle. I wasn't raised correctly. So I have a lot of, issues like with the world. I don't really know how to sustain anything, but I'm trying, and that's what's important, is to work hard and be your best self.
Absolutely. Because a lot of times, especially during those formative years, like between 1 and 7, that is when the family has a tendency to instill their values in the child. And a lot of times it can take a lifetime to uproot those.
Exactly.
And get back to your original, to what your personal beliefs are. And which I commend you, because you are well on your way. You are well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, luckily in the formidable years, they really didn't pay a lot of attention to me, because I didn't jive with their whole thing, and they would just send me to a room somewhere with a TV. So I got to really raise myself with the Disney Channel or Nickelodeon. It was always me and a TV, and that's where all my morals come from, all of those movies.
Movies. Yes.
Yeah, the magic fairy tale. I think that makes sense. If you know me. Clearly, I was raised by fairy tales. Yeah.
So basically, no matter what you're going through, it will have a happy ending.
It's good. It's going to have a happy ending. One day, I will beat this evil witch, and I will get my voice back, and everything will be wonderful.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
So
I believe that.
I want to ask you a question. I don't want to get personal, but if you don't mind me asking how old you are.
Yeah, so you're lucky, because I actually didn't tell anyone my age until recently. I'm 32 years old.
Oh, you're a baby.
Thank you for saying that. I I feel really old. In the gay scene, once you're 25, you're over the hill. So
yeah, right, exactly.
7 years above that. I mean, I hid my age pretty well until most recently. I told everybody in December, and I finally came out with it, and it was a big deal. So yeah, I'm 32. Yeah.
Well, what I love about the fact, that you're 32 is, probably even in your 20s, you had a voice. Tim and I, we were kind of silenced. We couldn't say, we couldn't express. So for you, you should be extremely proud of that you are being as free as you could possibly be, and you're expressing your feelings, which we couldn't.
Well, yes and no. I think that my generation, the 30s people, you know, I think that we are not as allowed to be out as the 20s group of people, which is why I pretended to be younger than I am. Because, you know, it was, you know, I was always being told what I am is wrong, always. Up until I moved to New York. So up until about 5 years ago, really, it really wasn't as accepted as it seems like it is today, because it is so widely accepted in theory. Those people are still out there that judge you for being gay and homosexual or flamboyant. And then on top of that, I'm a larger man. So I always, instead of like being allowed, I never like, because my family didn't allow me to do anything. So I just did it anyway. Like, and I kind of took society the same way. I was like, you know what? Everybody hates me just like my family. I don't care. I'm still going to be me. Like, what's going to happen? You're going to lock me in my room. Like, come on. Like, you know, like.
I got the Disney Channel, bitch.
I have Disney Plus now.
Oh, you're never coming out, honey.
Never. Like, I don't know. I just always was like told by the Disney Channel to be yourself and to stand up for what you believe in and be the underdog always wins, you know? So
that's what I love, because in your 20s, you went through that. And then as you're going into your 30s, you're putting out albums where you're expressing yourself, you're free. And then also, well, I guess we'll get into that too, but I just love within that year, the stages from your first album, Daydream, and how in a year,
everything changed
to Nightmare.
It went from Daydream to Nightmare.
Well, reality, I mean, look at the world, right? The world went from Daydream to Nightmare. It wasn't just me. And that's why I felt like it was so important for me to do Nightmare, because I was like, I'm not the only one whose life got turned upside down.
Right.
And I think that the people who hide their turmoil in their art, like they don't use art as therapy like I do, I think that that is such a shame, because as an artist, I think it's my purpose to tell my story to help other people. I mean, that's why I was given the specific skill set I'm given by the powers that be, is because like my story is actually helping people. It's actually showing people that it's okay to hurt and cry and be sad. And I don't think, because we live in an age of filters and you have to look a certain way and the right pigments.
Everybody has to be perfect and look
perfect. And you have to be working, you have to be doing things, you have to be fancy and rich, and you have to be like on a rooftop with champagne.
And the thing I love with you is that you have the courage and the balls to say, look, it's not all roses.
It's not roses. And I get really mad at the people who pretend it's roses when I know them and I know it's not. I'm like, you're lying. It's a lie. I just always believe that honesty is the best policy.
I honestly don't believe in image at all.
Yeah. No, like me neither. Like,
oh my God.
Oh, see, you're better than me. I use a highlighter.
That's not what that means.
No.
Now, one thing I wanted to touch on is how you and I met.
Yes.
We were both doing, Reverend Yolanda, our mutual friend, had workshopped a musical about her life, and you and I were both in the cast.
Yes, Reverend Yolanda's alien love child of the church with a 2-drink minimum.
Yes,
the longest title a musical will ever have.
Yes, I love it. And that was such a great experience. I mean, everything about Reverend Yolanda is absolutely wonderful, but just some of the people that I met during that, like yourself. And also,
Morgan.
I was just going to say, L. Morgan Lee, didn't she get nominated?
Yeah, she was nominated for the Tony for supporting actress at the Tonys. Groundbreaking history, like
first transgender to be
nominated for a Tony. And then also the musical won best musical. I mean, blown away. Morgan deserved it too. Like such a genuine human. I mean, I remember we went to dinner one day and Morgan was just like, you just have to believe in yourself and just keep going. And just like gave me all this wonderful life advice. And like, I don't even know if she knew how much that impacted me or anything, you know, because we never got really close or anything. But when she got nominated, I was like, that person deserves it. Morgan definitely deserved it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wonderful cast. And everybody that was in that show is doing something wonderful right now.
Yeah.
So.
That's incredible. I love
Andreas, I think, is on cruises and
cruises and shows and always performing, and Rupert's doing music too. And I mean, you and me are obviously superstars, clearly.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so blessed to be in the room with you both.
Oh, thanks, Ike.
So, JR, who were your inspirations? How did you get into music? There had to be somebody.
Oh, there's many. I mean, gosh, I mean, specifically music. I mean, when I was little, Britney Spears was everything. I mean, I literally have a Britney Spears plaque hanging on my wall over here that you can't see. It's on the opposite wall. But no, Britney, God, because she was the first time I realized that people can be famous. You know, like I thought that all of the musicians were already out and that music was what it was. And then she came out and like nobody knew who she was like a week prior. And now everybody knew who she was. And I was like, new things, new music can happen. And then I was like, what? Tim, you're going to say something?
And also, she started out in Disney.
I know. Well, yeah, I saw her in the reruns of the Mickey Mouse Club. Exactly. And then she became a pop star, and I was like, oh, and she's from, I mean, like literally just like,
little Britney.
I also have this vinyl.
Help me out here, JR, because I remember buying, it was the single at the time. And
yes.
Was it spring or summer? It was the B-side. It was.
It's Autumn Goodbye.
Autumn. Oh, I knew it was
never promise you a happy ending.
I love that song. I'm thinking, why wasn't that on the album?
Yeah, that was because of a producer thing. There was like a legal battle, and then like she couldn't do it. And then also with Sometimes She Did, I'm So Curious. But they recently released it in her full complete collection, so you can
love that song.
Buy it now.
We're talking about selling your albums. Forget Britney.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. So Britney was like my first queen. And then I got really into, songwriting and writers. And I listened to a lot of Journey. I listened to a lot of country people. Kelly Clarkson was a huge inspiration. Sarah Bareilles is my all-time favorite songwriter. Kesha was a huge influence. There's just so many. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean,
I can hear such them.
Exactly.
I can hear them in your music, in your style. Yeah,
for sure. I love a big soaring melody vocal with like some sort of message. I don't really like songs that aren't about anything. I kind of get lost on like, what's this even about? Like, I don't know. And that seems to be like the new kind of thing that's happening with music. Like people are just like kind of singing things to sing like sounds. And I'm like, not really following. I'm trying.
Either that or bend over the table, bitch.
Yeah. And then one day I discovered Taylor Swift and my entire world flipped upside down.
Yeah.
I was
speaking of being bent over the table.
Oh, Taylor Swift. And so she's a treasure. She's an icon. We're the same age, and she grew up in like the same area, so her songs really speak to me. And like I was like, wow, this is a whole other thing, and you can go deep, and it has to come from your heart, and it's about your story. And then I started doing that and didn't look back, and all my songs are honest and true, and they've happened to me. And I mean, I can talk about other artists all day long. Like those are just the top.
That's the inspiration. I mean, that's behind it all. I mean, does somebody out there? Joan Rivers was my inspiration to be a comedian, and Tim was Streisand, I believe, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
of course,
absolutely,
of course.
Yeah, I studied her vocally. Yeah,
love it. Do you drop your R's?
What's that?
Do you drop your R's like Barbara?
Now, before we continue with the music, because I've got a lot more to go with the music. The outfit. Tell us about the outfit.
Oh, this outfit that I'm wearing? Well, this is what I wore to the Pride Parade. I walked in the Pride Parade for the first time.
Is that overwhelming or what?
Oh my God, I was so in love. My friend Robert Garcia was doing a thing for Boy Girl Beauty or Girl Boy Beauty. I don't know which is first. Yeah, the new makeup line.
Yeah, cosmetic line. Oh my God.
Yeah, and I was so excited to be a part of that. Like, her whole team was very supportive. Stephanie Starless and Jeremy and everybody there, and Jace Vegas was there, and we had like all these independent nightlife people there. Tanya Face was there, who I'm very good friends with, and we got to walk, and there was just like millions of people just like cheering and being free, especially now with everything going on in society. It was really wonderful to see so much just
positive
pride. And so I wanted to wear it on your show because bring some prideful rainbow to Loose Lips.
Absolutely.
You could just show up and you're just full of promise.
Exactly. You're like one big rainbow.
Yeah,
that's what they've told me since elementary school. So.
Oh my goodness. I love it.
Oh my God. Now, when did you first find your voice, or when did you first discover that you enjoyed singing? Do you remember your first performance?
Okay, well, I started singing when I was 3. I was a big fan of The Little Mermaid, and I was singing Part of Your World before I could even like do full sentence structure.
Oh my God.
And then when I was 6 years old, I wrote my first song. It was called One Step at a Time.
God.
I remember the chorus was like, no matter what, I'll do it at my own pace. Yeah, I'll do it one step at a time, no matter if I have to believe myself when nobody else will. I'll do it one step at a time, one step at a time. And then I did that.
That was very involved for a 6-year-old. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like this long. It's a really good song. I want to record it one day, but like I write better songs now, than when I was 6. But
it's deep,
Yeah, it was.
That's what I mean.
Well, because Britney came out, and that was when I wrote that. I was like, oh, I can just be famous. Like, oh, I'm going to do it one step at a time. And I like wrote the song. And then I just kept writing. I haven't stopped writing. I write a song every day, at least one. And I keep going and keep climbing. And then I was chosen by like my math teacher to be the lead in the Christmas play in 5th grade. And I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting. And then like everybody asked me to like perform for show and tell and all of that. And then like that was the only time people weren't making fun of me, is when I was singing.
Is that something?
So I really latched on to performing. And it seemed like that was the only time my family valued me, like, because they would have parties and stuff and they wouldn't really talk to me, but then they'd be like, Josh, come out and sing. My dead name is Josh. And they would be like, come out and sing. And I would like sing, and then they would send me back to my room. And so it just felt like my voice was really all that people cared about. So I tried to develop it, and then that's why I went to school for it. And I mean, I didn't really even like my voice until after I got my degree and had all the training, because education matters. My voice was very, Britney-esque and Kesha like, so it was very electronic and needed Melodyne, but I didn't have that technology. So it was just like, not developed. And I think the older I get, my voice gets more powerful, and because I'm working on it every day, I don't stop.
You definitely have, I'm sorry, Tim, but
no, go ahead.
Yeah. Like you say you're developing, but when I heard your voice now, you're comparing yourself like maybe to Britney or Kesha, but you're nowhere near the both of them vocally.
Yeah, well, because then I discovered, like Glee, and all of the people on Glee, like Kurt and Rachel Berry, like Chris Colfer and Leah Michele. And Leah Michelle's canceled now. I don't support her as a human being, but her voice is there. And that voice, led me to get the training I needed to do. And I discovered Broadway, and I got the musical theater background. And I had a wonderful teacher. Her name is Rachel Black. And she really just broke down all of my like barriers with my voice, because I was trying to sound like Britney. And I was trying to sound like other people. And the trick to singing is to actually just accept your voice for what it is and sound like you. And that's the hardest part. So once I accepted me genuinely, that's when my voice really came to me. And now I love where it's going now. And now, like, as I'm evolving and changing as a person, my voice is changing. And instead of still trying to sound like Daydream JR, I'm letting it grow into Nightmare JR, and now Lucid JR. And my voice is just like
Lucid. That's going to be the next album.
Yeah. Lucid's the next one, because you don't need to sleep to dream. we could go listen.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was kind of wondering how, because again, coming to terms with your homosexuality in West Virginia and in Kentucky, that's not an easy task.
No.
And did that kind of happen along the way with the development of your music and your singing? Because it's all part of your identity.
Well, yeah, because I kept, my family's very much into country music, and somebody famous said you need 3 chords and the truth. And so as a songwriter, you're sitting there, you have to be really honest with yourself. And I was trying to write, I had a girlfriend in elementary school. Her name was Nikki Mills. And I was writing all these songs for her, and it just didn't feel right. And I got another girlfriend in middle school named Erica, and didn't feel right. And I was writing all these songs, and then I kissed a boy, and he flipped my whole world upside down, and I started writing about boys, and then I was like, oh no, it happened. And his name is Bo. He's wonderful. He wasn't wonderful in high school, but he is wonderful now. He's done the work. It's 15 years later, and he he denied who he was so much, and that's why we could never see what was happening with us, that I wanted to just be profusely me, like resiliently, persistently. I just wanted to like be me, to be the antithesis of who he was, and so I just became really out, and it made my family really mad. I came out on Cowboy Day at school, and it was, and Brokeback Mountain had recently come out, and I was just like a cowboy, and I'm like, I'm gay, and like, so some people thought it was a joke, and then other people got really mad, and my dad like attacked me, and it was really bad, but I didn't really care, because again, like, my family didn't really raise me, so I never really felt like I had to like really listen to them, and I didn't want to be like them. So like, that didn't help, because I was like, I don't think these people are good people. And I mean, they have their good moments or whatever, as every human being does, but like for the majority of the time, they were making me miserable. So
but you paid attention to your surroundings, which was important.
Yeah, I paid attention. And I think a lot of people just get caught up in the what's wrong with me? I don't belong here. Why don't I belong? And however, where I was raised by the television, I was told by Disney Channel, like, oh, the person who doesn't belong is the one who's the strongest.
Right.
Like Moana. Look at Moana. She didn't belong on the island. She's a Voyager, and then she saved the whole tribe. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I always looked at my differences as strengths, because I never wanted to be where my family was. And
that's amazing.
And my music helped me realize that, because I had to be honest in song, or it wasn't good. If you lie in a song, you can tell.
Yeah.
And and that's the perfect segue into Body Positive.
Which
was a single off of Daydream.
My first debut single.
How that became.
So I was working with this independent label, and I wanted to make an album. It was actually the music director for that Reverend Yolanda show, Phil Carroll. I was in RAD, and when I started doing... and I started doing music and stuff, and then I was involved with a bear community called Bear Your Soul, and Freddie Freeman was a popular bear artist. He started Bearpalooza, and he has his big hit now called I'm Here, I'm Queer, I'm Country, which he thinks is like, why is that the hit? Because he doesn't really do country music, but I think it's funny to bring it up. But he pulled me aside, and he was like, we need to make you like a bear pop star. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And I dived into that whole world, and then he was like, you need an anthem about your body. Because he teaches workshops called Loving Our Bare Bodies, and I helped facilitate...
At Easton Mountain.
At Easton Mountain, and he also travels with it, and so he did it in Kentucky, which is where I met him when I was in college, and I started facilitating those workshops, so body positivity and loving your bare body became very important to me, because, as a gay man, if you're not a twink, you're not really attractive, and people don't even like...
You're not attractive.
You're told you're not attractive, and people like will ignore you, or they'll like scoff at you. And when you come from a family who hates you, and your only place to go is this gay community that also hates you, I decided to do exactly what I did with my family, which is be more resiliently me.
Good.
And so I wrote Body Positive because I was like, you know what? No, actually, I'm fucking sexy as hell. I'm not allowed to cuss.
Yeah.
I was like, I am sexy. And I am going to write a song about how everybody is sexy because I think people are beautiful. And I never really got caught up on like physical attractions or anything. You know, I think that, you know, I'm sexually attracted to men, obviously. And I think that every man is gorgeous. And I mean, I'm versatile, so I can find something to do no matter who you are. Unless if you're a woman, then we were going to have some issues. Yeah. But I think that women are gorgeous. I mean, I worship Britney and Gaga and, you know, Sarah Bareilles and Lizzo and all the women, you know, and I was like, we need a song saying that everyone, because the people that are promoting body positivity, like Lizzo and Meghan Trainor, they're specifically promoting it for, you know, themselves and the people that look exactly like them. And I think that a lot of people forget about the people who can't gain weight, that are having issues, like they want to be bigger, or the people who have physical handicaps, you know, or just disabilities, or, you know, genders and trans people. And, you know, my Grammy nomination is for a song that I helped write with my producer, Feathers Wise, called I Am Not Afraid. And it was an anthem about not being afraid to transition. So I'm very much in a, like, love yourself exactly who you're meant to be type of thing. And it doesn't mean you have to be a big boy. It doesn't mean you have to be a tiny boy. It doesn't mean you have to be a boy. It doesn't mean you have to be a big girl or a little girl. All bodies is body positivity, at least to me. And I don't feel like that message is really what other people are promoting when they say body positive. So my song is, the hook is, you know, chubby boys say yeah, thin men and you, curvy girls can rule the world, skinny bitches too. You know, it's everybody.
I love it. I love it.
So I wanted that anthem, and it became my biggest hit. And now I'm, you know, this one hit wonder.
Like, no, you're positive. Not, honey. No, you're not.
A lot of good stuff.
Far from that. And I wish, and this was so funny because after I left Tim's party that night, and I swear I'm going to find it again. I don't know why I can't. There was a video of you on YouTube, and I think it was called something Love, and you were doing it live.
Oh, at Stonewall, Fall in Love?
Maybe it was. It was up tempo?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, your voice was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Incredible live. Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah, I actually, I'm performing at Stonewall again with Freak Out with DJ Chauncey. He does those shows, and he lets me perform sometimes, and I write an exclusive song for each performance I do live at a bar show, and that was one of the exclusive songs that
I love that song.
Performed just that night, for that one performance. So come to my live shows, people, because then you'll hear an exclusive one time only. Yes. I'm doing another one when I do Freak Out again on the 16th.
Nice.
So it's the 16th. I'm bad at math. It's the 14th. It's the 14th. Thursday.
I'm bad at math.
Yeah, I have math trauma. It's fine. Yeah. I'm a gay man. We're all bad at math.
Except when it comes to size.
We definitely know that number, huh?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I like to do, because I like to do new things and not get tied down. I mean, it kind of makes my music not blow up as fast because I'm always singing something different. Right. But I'm a writer, so I'm constantly writing, and I want to just keep putting out more stuff until people, because I think that I can teach multiple things to people from what I've been through, and I don't like to get stuck in one thing. I mean, Fall in Love is about, it's a different approach to Nightmare than Nightmare, because my album that I put out is very heartbroken, and it's about me like showing how broken I became. And Fall in Love is more about like me being like, you know what, I'm not going to let this defeat me. We were supposed to fall in love, and I fell for your bear trap, and like you're blaming me for being heartbroken. And I'm over here just being like, we were supposed to be in love. Like, I don't know how you're blaming me for what we're going through. And I feel like a lot of people go through that when they go through breakups. The ex who hurt them is blaming them for the breakup. And it's like, I don't see your reasoning or logic here. This doesn't make sense. And this deserves a song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
And amazing song. Love it.
Thanks.
I love. Yeah, and I love all of the music on Nightmare is just incredible.
Please let's get just into that. I mean,
we're
here to support the album. It was released on June 4th. Tim and I are obsessed with it.
Oh, thank you.
But I need to know, just from my point of view, just looking at the tracks and the titles, is it in order of how you wrote it, and how, or did you just sequence, because the way it starts and the way it finishes?
Yeah, no, no. I wish that I just effortlessly went through the journey. Excuse me. No, the album is based on the 5 stages of grief. After losing love, I also lost my theater professor, Russell Henderson, in November, and he was my first father figure, who, really believed in me. And he told me that I had to make art like me, that I had to do things like me. And that's what made it special. I could do all the notes he gave me, but if I wasn't doing it like me, it wasn't special. Right. Okay. And so I was like, I could write a pop album. I could write a heartbreak album. Yeah. But I think what makes it me is if I tell the story and I give a lesson and I don't just dwell in my pain, I find the positivity and the light. And I was like, how can I do that? Because I was at my lowest. And I didn't write these songs in order. Casey Musgrave said it in her new album, Star-Crossed, healing doesn't happen in a straight line. Exactly. So I didn't experience the stages of grief in order, which is why the album is actually out of order from like the typical 5 stages of grief order.
Tell us the 5 stages.
Yes. So there's denial, and then there's bargaining, anger, depression, and then acceptance. So my denial song, I put them in order on the EP in the stages of grief order, not in the order of how I wrote them.
Experienced.
Yeah, and actually the hardest one to write was the acceptance, because while I was recording it, I wasn't in that stage. You weren't there. So I that was the last song we finished. And that was the first song I started writing. I was trying to get there because I was trying to find that positive message. And in the process,
I Have Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I Have Me as the acceptance song, the big anthem at the end. But
and I feel like that song, whatever you were going through at the time, obviously we know. But I feel like anybody could relate to that song.
Yeah, I agree.
Going through and accepting what they have for the future. And
after I performed it at my album release party, this person who I didn't even know, who happened by into the bar, heard that song and came up to me crying. And I had to hold this person, Alex, and they told me that the song was so beautiful that they just moved to New York with only $1,000 in their pocket, and my song has inspired them that they did the right thing, and they actually signed up to do a drag king performance to my song, and they're going to use my song, and it's the first time they've ever done any drag, and I'm the one who inspired that. And, I was like, wow, this music is important because it does teach people to accept their baggage and their pain and their trauma and rise above it and be genuinely, authentically them, which is all I want. In the bridge of I Have Me, it's like, I have all this baggage. I am flawed, but I carry it with ease because at the end of the day, I have me. Yeah. And I just want people to feel that way too, because especially now in this world, we're all going through it. I mean, it's an album about my heartbreak, yes, but it's not just about that. It's about everybody who's lost anything, who is in the society at all. I mean, men are making everybody feel tiny, I mean, we'll go through the songs. So Dagger is the denial song.
Right.
And Dagger is like this fun ukulele. It's got the daydream vibes. I'm laughing at the beginning. And then as you listen to the lyrics, it's like, oh no, I've been going through it. I've been going through it, but I'm refusing to believe I'm going through it, right? Like I'm in denial about the pain I'm in, because everything's going to be fine. I'm J.R.Price. I can daydream my way out of this. Just don't touch the dagger in my heart. Just don't do that. And I'm going to be fine as long as you don't do this. But, somebody touched it. And it destroyed me. And so then I go into Nightmare, which is the bargaining song, where I'm begging, like, please, I want another daydream. Don't want another nightmare. Like, I want another happy moment. Like, I don't want to be stuck in this chaos and lost in the sea of black hole depression. Like, I want to just be happy and love. And, I was so bamboozled by the fact that somebody could be so cruel. Money was involved, and my heart was involved, and my body was involved, and my time and my care and my compassion and my creativity. We wrote together, and it was all ripped away, and there were all these false promises of hope.
That's a lot of layers there.
Yeah, and so that it just felt like a nightmare, because now I'm stuck with this, like, bargaining for wanting my old self back, wanting my daydream self. That's what the song is about. It's about wanting me back.
Right.
And that's what was taken away, daydream. Mm-hmm. Like, I want another,
It's almost like you're giving yourself that challenge. You got to get that daydream. You need, yes.
Yeah. My first album. Yeah.
And then what was next? What song?
And then Anger. So then I was like, you won't even have he refused to talk to me about the whole thing. And I got so angry. And because, like, after everything I've done, like, you're not going to have a closure. Like, I just want amends. Like, I want to be able to perform and not have to think about this. And he wouldn't talk to me. And I was just like, what kind of person, one, doesn't even acknowledge how much pain they've caused another human being. And then two, when they're aware of it, say, like, they don't care. And, like, he, like, cussed me out. Because I was, like, reaching out to him because I just wanted, like, amends, and I wanted to find peace. And so then I got really mad, and I was like, this person is so little to not even acknowledge how much pain they're putting another human through. Especially someone who did nothing but help them. Right. It's just the smallest thing I could ever even imagine somebody doing. And so I wrote Tiny, and it's not about a body appendage or anything. It's about how tiny his heart is to use me. And, it was me realizing the whole thing was a plan for me, because I helped him move to New York, and I helped him get a job. And, it was just very obviously obvious. So I had to write a song about it. And
well, guess what, Tim? jrprice has allowed us to show the video.
Yeah, let's watch the video.
I love this video.
So we're gonna
about
play
whoever it may be or who it may not be, whoever that person may
or
may not be.
Right now.
All right, we are going live. We are live. What's up with your favorite rapper, Half Dollar, your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, but don't sleep on me. Call me a mattress, but don't sleep on me. You know what I'm saying? Bars for days, bars for days. Let's talk about those crazy exes that won't leave you alone. But I guess when you're slinging it right, they don't want to leave you alone. Got that big D, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, I see the comments blowing up. Well, just so you know, we got some new music, but that's not why I brought you guys here today. I just wanted to talk about something crazy. Those crazy exes that are obsessed with you. You hear me, jrprice, obsessed with you, won't leave you the hell alone because the way I've been slinging it like that, when you got that big D that they're just obsessed with. But don't worry, I move in silence. I move in silence. You're tiny.
More than money he was stealing, he touched my heart and I start feeling he was in for the killing. Stabbed my chest and left me chilling. Gives cold a new meaning. Abandon me, don't care, I'm bleeding. 5 words and I'm seeing. He lied to me, he's so deceiving. He don't know what I do know, and he won't go where I would go. He don't even reap the seeds he sowed. He will never grow, 'cause he's tiny, so tiny. Wrap him up and make him shiny. Tiny, so tiny. Gotta get this boy behind me. Tiny, so tiny. His words won't define me. Can someone stop the crying? He left me so. A few weeks later and I see him already died, but pretend I'm living. All his words are itching, and all the pain I'm not forgetting. Every night we were kissing, said things to me that I'm still missing. Pennies aren't for wishing, they're just the way his knife keeps digging. He don't see what I do see. The way I cry now, I can't breathe. He don't even care what he meant to me. I'm a casualty, 'cause he's tiny, so tiny. So tiny, oh. He's holding you like he held me, like he held him. He's holding you like he held me, like he held him. He's holding you like he held me, like he held him. So tiny.
There it is. So,
Yeah.
all characters are fictional, and any real life correspondence is not
It's
my responsibility.
purely
I don't know
accidental.
what's the it's a accidental. What's the disclaimer?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
Wow.
Satania, right?
Who was the actor? Who was the actor?
That's Alex Kelso, who's Satania.
Oh,
Pace.
Alex. Yeah.
Yeah, at your party. Yeah. And yeah, I was like, Alex, do you want to do this thing? A lot of people are making rumors about me and calling me crazy, so I've decided to just be crazy if you want to do it with me. And Alex was like, hell yeah, let's do it. I'm here for you. I love you. And we made this really cool video where I got to just be this crazy maniacal witch. I wanted to pay tribute to a lot of things in it. Like the candy is like Hansel and Gretel. So I'm like luring them in, and it's gummy bears because my bear career has been destroyed by this person.
Wow.
And so I was like, I don't need it. That's why I'm throwing the gummy bears. I'm like, I don't need that bear career. I'm bigger than this, and you're tiny, and you're taking these things away from me maliciously, and it's not going to stop me. And, you're so little. You're just so little, and you're making me feel little. And that's what I hated the most, was how it made me feel. And that's what made me so angry, was the fact that, like, he just threw me away. And if you could just throw me away, how valuable am I? And it really got into my head and made me feel small. And then I realized the only way that somebody can make somebody feel that small is if they're small themselves. So I wrote Tiny. And then I got depressed and I wrote To the Ghost. And To the Ghost is the depression song about reaching out to somebody and them not responding and ghosting you. And I wrote the bridge, and the bridge is, the world will keep spinning when I give up the ghost. No one is winning, but I'll lose the most. And it's so true, because when somebody ghosts you, they don't care. They ghosted you. They have no compassion for that time you spent together. You're the one left haunted.
Right.
And that's why it's called ghosting.
That's beautiful. I like that.
Yeah.
And so I had to write a song about that, because that was the saddest part, was the fact that, like, I helped him so much and he wouldn't respond. And I put a lot more than just that relationship. I mean, there's like a lot in all the songs. It's not just about this one person. It's about all of my trauma. Like, my family is very enthused in the lyrics, and it's just about all of my heartbreak and how all of these people can throw me away and not care. And like, if people can so easily throw me away, right? And people can crumble up my piece of paper and throw it in the trash can. Like, how valuable is jrprice? And so I sat down with all of this, and then I wrote I Have Me. And I Have Me, it says, take it all away, change the words I say, you're not gonna change me. Drive me insane, force my heart to break, it won't break me. I've been walking on wind my whole life. And, the song really shows that the album is about more than just this one instance. This was just the straw that broke the camel's back. And I had to find a way out of this dark tunnel. And I was like, nobody's helping me. He was turning my friends against me. My family has already disowned me. I, don't have a lot of resources. I'm poor. I don't have money or anything like that. All I have is myself. That's the only person getting me out of this tunnel. And so I was like, what is me about me? And it was just my resilience of always wanting to be happy, always wanting to find the positive. And that's what makes the difference. is the fact that I am trying to find myself, and I'm trying to be better, and I'm trying to do the work, and I'm trying to be happy, and I'm trying to love and spread love. And I think that other people get so caught up in the just them of it.
Me too.
Right.
And I did because depression, but I'm not just solely concerned about me or my story. I saw that this pain could help other people, and I wouldn't have been so broadcasty with this whole message if I didn't realize it was actually going to help other people too. And because it's not helping me, it's not serving me to like air all of my baggage out. You know, like people are judging me left and right. I'm getting all this hate mail. I'm,
but dealing with all this judgment. Though, because you writing that, it got you to I Have Me.
Exactly.
It did. But it did, and that's what I was telling my producer. I was like, when I recorded it, I wasn't feeling I have it, right?
But the sad part is some people don't get there,
Right.
It's sad.
They get consumed by the denial and by the depression and all.
Well, they're focused on all the people backstabbing them and turning their backs and dropping them and throwing them.
It's overwhelming.
And they're not realizing how much power they still have.
But the family that turn their backs on you, the so-called friends that turn their backs on you, are just because the same blood may flow through your veins doesn't mean that that you're compatible.
Right.
And that's one thing that I've learned here in New York City is I have my, I guess, extended family or my chosen family. They're my friends. Ike, everybody makes up. I get to pick who I want to be in my family, and you are part of my family.
Well, of course, you too as well, babe. I mean,
that's what's the best part at this stage of our lives.
Yes,
when we know who is good for us, who we can work well with, who we could keep in our circle that aren't going to hurt us. A couple of weeds will get in.
A couple of weeds will get in. And I'm starting to realize who the real ones are and who the people who are just there for the image of being there are.
Right.
And I think that, it's really hard to accept because I want to love everybody.
Right.
But I'm starting, and I'm doing the work and, I'm taking the advice I'm given and I'm putting up boundaries now. I've started, only giving my time to select people who I feel like are really there for me. And I've stopped dropping everything to help everyone because
Good.
Which sucks for me because I want to help everybody because of that Disney princess inside of me.
Yeah.
But I have to start taking care of myself. And it's a really hard transition period, but I feel like that's what 30 is about owning up to me in the way of like, now I have to start working on my flaws. It's not just about my baggage anymore. It's now about what my baggage has created and how I can overcome that. So I'm trying to like look ahead and focus on me more.
Well, and you are very intelligent.
Yeah.
You're very talented.
100%.
You've got a beautiful spirit about you, and you've got a very long future ahead of you in this industry. You're very creative, Just continue to do that. Just tap into your being, which is what you're doing. And we're very, very proud of you.
Is so incredible, really. And just the fact that I listened to the words and I related to relationships that I've had in the past, and how I didn't get out of it quick enough to say that this isn't good for me. Why am I moving forward with it yet? Why?
And a lot of times you can feel it at the time that I shouldn't be here. This isn't good for me. But you still continue to go ahead.
And for you in your 30s, early 30s, to piece that together before somebody who is older who couldn't,
it
speaks volumes about you and the potential that you have in your future. Is just this album is incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you. No, you're right. I mean, and I'm not gonna say that every day. I'm not, still sad. I'm not going to say that I'm 100% better. And I'm not going to say that every night I go to bed without crying myself to sleep. I still do cry myself to sleep sometimes, but I don't cry myself to sleep every night anymore.
Good.
And I think that is the best part. And I'm starting to have better days. I'm starting to smile again. And now I'm dealing with post-depression you know, problems, which is, you know, I was so dark so long that people forgot who I actually am.
Yeah.
And now they're like thinking I'm just like painting a smile, and it's like, no, this is like who I actually am. It was just stolen for a minute.
Yeah.
But I did the work, and the album really helped me, and I'm ready to start being me again.
And that's another thing, is you're willing to put the work in on yourself.
Yes.
When many people aren't. Many people are not. Now, one thing about your 30s, that was one of my favorite decades, because your 30s, you're old enough to know better, but you're still young enough to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Still young. Keep saying that. Yeah.
Amen. Well, JR, thank you so much. But
we love you.
We want to play a game with you.
Yes. I want to play the game. Okay.
Yes. So Tim
that sounds very Saw. Sounds very Jigsaw on Saw. I want to play a game.
Do you want to play a game?
Get out of my house.
Ike has this like deep radio voice. Have you noticed?
Stop it.
So, did you want me to explain the game?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
You do it.
How do I win?
What it is well, it's Ike and I are the ones playing the game.
Oh, okay.
So and what he'll say, he'll give you two answers, and don't answer. Like he'll say hot or cold, and don't answer, and then we'll write something down. And okay, I'm ready.
So you now, JR, will say either hot or cold. What's your preference? And
do you prefer hot or cold?
I like or.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Well, it depends. I mean, like if we're talking temperature, I prefer cold. If we're talking style, I prefer hot.
Well, if we're talking one,
do you like hot or cold?
Cold. Way to go, Tim.
I am a champion at this.
I'm a big boy, you know, like we sweat a lot.
Tim always wins these. He always wins these. Okay, the next one is Shawn Mendes or Justin Bieber. Don't answer.
It's so hard to not just be like, my answer.
Right.
Okay,
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Okay.
Yep.
Shawn Mendes.
Bam.
Duh. He came to Hamilton and like ordered water, and like my manager is like in love with him, and they're gonna get married, I think.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Shout out to Andy. Hi, Andy.
Wow. He has a gay brother? No.
Shawn Mendes, cutie and nice.
Handcuffs or rope?
Yeah, okay. So obviously rope.
Oh, really? I had handcuffs.
So I actually have been in jail before for a suicide attempt, and so handcuffs bring me back to that.
It's a tie.
So yeah. Yeah, so rope is very sexy and soft and colorful.
That is true.
Yeah.
Lizzo.
What is that?
Lizzo
or Olivia Rodrigo.
If
I get this one wrong.
Okay.
I think you're probably gonna get it wrong. Are you ready? Both of you ready? Obviously Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh, okay. I had Lizzo.
Yes! I mean, here's why. So I love Lizzo. Don't get me wrong. They're both in my top 5. But Olivia Rodrigo, I mean, first of all, she won the Grammy. Second of all, that album, Sour, I mean, it's just exactly where I am right now. You know? So it's lyrics. And Lizzo has her About Damn Time song where she's like waking up from like this trauma and like ready to party again. So I'm getting into that space, but that album hasn't dropped yet. So Olivia Rodrigo for the sake of right now in this game moment.
We have one more.
Okay.
So Tim this could be a tie.
This is fun.
Right now I'm 3 and Tim is 2.
Do you have a tiebreaker?
No, I'll make one up.
Okay.
Beach vacation or ski vacation?
Okay.
Oh God. I really don't like either. I prefer like city vacations. Let's do beach vacation because I'll get to see more shirtless men. Yeah. Oh, you both put beach.
All right,
So-
but I won that one, Tim. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're a whore.
So Ike won.
Finally.
You don't win all of them, Tim.
No, see, JR, we have a connection.
We have a connection, Ike. We do.
Yeah.
We do.
But we only have time for a few questions because we're getting right to the end.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
These came through our website. It said Lisa, who asked, "Who is your dream duet?"
Oh my God. Well, I already did Tom Goss, who's on my wall. I'm actually moving my
I
phone
love
to show you.
Tom.
Yeah, I have a poster on my wall of Tom Goss.
I
We
love
did
Tom.
Dance With Me, which is,
Uh-huh.
he just said yes.
Yeah,
Blown away
Tom
that he
is
did
very
that.
cool.
But
Tom's
I think
very
that
cool.
my other dream duet, like if I'm thinking like big, Taylor Swift. I mean,
Yeah.
me
There
and
you go.
Taylor, holy moly. If I could get that girl in a room to just give me feedback on my writing style, yeah,
Wow.
Taylor Swift.
Mine
1
would be
million.
Barbara.
God, if
Mine
Taylor,
would be Barbara.
it's just where I'm at right now. I mean,
Yeah.
if you asked me last year, it would have been Britney, obviously, but
Mhm.
no, I'm
Mine
just
would be
Taylor.
Celine Dion because we always get compared when we sing.
'Cause I'm your lady. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay, one more question from Brian. He said, "Will there be another video?"
If I can get the money, my production company, Grizz Studios, who did Tiny, amazing people, they want to shoot one for Dagger, and we have this really cool like zombie theme because Tiny was witches, so we want to do Dagger as zombies, where I have a dagger in my heart and I'm a zombie.
That's good.
But I need money for all that makeup, y'all. If y'all
Exactly.
Go fund
so
me.
fund me, if you all want to Venmo me, you totally
Go fund me,
can.
put it
Go
up,
buy
we'll
things from my
blast it.
store.
We'll blast
And,
it.
yeah, well, I'll do a video if people help me pay for it. I'm just so poor, y'all. I mean, I had to like barely pay my rent. You know, like I'm
But
a coach that
eventually-
guy.
But eventually you will have more money than you can spend.
I hope so. I
And
hope
you
so.
could
And
say
then
you
and then
came
we'll
on this
all be
little
happy.
show.
You
could
heard
say
it
came on this
first
little
here.
show, Loose Lips. Yeah.
It won't be a little show. If I have money, then you all are going to be like one of the top podcasts of
Oh.
all time. It's going to happen. I'm not going to go up alone. Like,
No, I know.
I don't
But
want to
who-
be alone at the top. Who wants to be alone at the top? That
No,
would suck.
you want people who have your back.
I want people who supported me when I was at my lowest and not
Yeah.
that turned their back on me.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amen.
Oh,
So, JR, tell us where we could find you and where everybody out there can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on all platforms. jrprice. My new album is called Nightmare. I am on Instagram and TikTok as jrpriceless5eva because forever is too short. And I am on Facebook as jrprice. And you can go to my website, jrprice.org. I'm on iTunes, Apple Music, Pandora, Google Play, Apple Music, everything. Just please listen to my music. That's really all I care about. Yeah.
We
Oh.
adore you so
love you,
much.
JR.
Thank you all so much for having. I love you all. This was
Oh,
wonderful.
wow. Love like you wouldn't believe. And congratulations on an epic
Yeah.
album.
Thank you. Thank you
And
so
we
much.
can't wait for you to come back when the video comes out.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna shoot out the Venmo.
Yes. This is the part where we wave goodbye.
Oh,
Oh, thank you, JR.
Love you.
thank
Bye,
you. I
baby.
love you all. Thank you.
Love you too.